Hey, what's up, film fans? Back around October, I started seeing previews for the Thanksgiving movie, and it looked a little like the Scream movies. So I wanted to check it out. So I waited until it started streaming. Thanksgiving was directed by Eli Roth and stars Patrick Dempsey, Ty Olsson, Gina Gershon, Nell Verlaque, and Rick Hoffman. It is a reboot of a fake trailer from Roth's movie Grindhouse from 2007. Now, I'm not one to usually want to see a slasher movies, but since it had that look and feel of the Scream movies, I wanted to give it a check out. Thanksgiving takes place in Plymouth, Massachusetts, the birthplace of Thanksgiving. It starts right after Thanksgiving dinner, with everyone getting ready for the Black Friday sales. At the Right Mart, the local superstore, we see crowds gathering outside and the sales team inside mentally trying to get prepared. While this is going on, Jessica Wright, daughter of Thomas Wright, owner of the Right Mart, she and her friends are on their way to the movies, and one of her friends says that they need to get something from Right Mart. They stop and sneak in the back door, and when they get into the store, the crowd sees them. They become irate, very angry. As the crowd gets more and more restless, they crowd the door until there is so much pressure that the doors burst open, killing the guy who's trying to unlock the door. As the crowd gets in the store, more and more people are killed, including the general manager's wife. And Jessica's boyfriend, Bobby, the star baseball player, gets his arm crushed. Then we move to 1 year later, where one by one, people involved in the tragedy are murdered. One by one, including the group of friends that snuck in. Black Friday shopping has always had horror stories of crowds and fights and injuries. The Black Friday scene reminded me of the horror stories I would hear about back in the 80s with the Cabbage Patch dolls and other such sought after Black Friday deals. I remember hearing the stories of people body slamming each other, including little old ladies. I've never partaken in the Black Friday sales as I hate crowds, but I grew up on the stories and I know how realistic this scene can be. Patrick Dempsey plays Sheriff Eric Newland, head of the police department that is investigating murders. And he's real close friends with Mitch Collins, the general manager of Right Mart, and his wife Amanda, played by Gina Gershon. Newland is kind of like a cross between Dewey from Scream and Dempsey's own character from Scream 3. The killer in the story wears an old pilgrim suit and a mask of John Carver. Carver was one of the people that came over on the Mayflower and was governor of Massachusetts, and he was celebrated in the movie by the townspeople who would wear the masks to celebrate the holiday. And the killer wearing the mask reminds me of both the Scream mask and the V for Vendetta, as there's different scenes where everybody's wearing the mask to confuse things. And so many things in this movie is reminiscent of the Scream franchise. One problem I had with the movie is that it takes place in Massachusetts. And the only people that I could really tell were trying to do the Massachusetts accent were Dempsey and the kid who played the football player from the rival football team. And even their accents were come and go as they could not hold the accent the whole movie. The movie was done in the style of the slasher films from the 80s and 90s, and the death scenes were done with that style of unbelievable death scenes that were very comical. One of these that made me laugh, well, this isn't the murder, but it leads up to one of them. The When the killer goes after the lady in the diner, he dunks her head into a sink full of water, pulls it out, takes her over to the freezer, opens the freezer door, and sticks her face to the door. I thought that was great. And even though most of the killings were kind of cheesy, they make the movie fun to watch. The story was good and had the usual red herring characters that keep you guessing who the killer was. There were a few times in the movie I thought I'd figured out who it was, but I was wrong every time. I know it's not necessarily the time of year to watch, but it's streaming on Netflix now. Check it out. It's humorous and keeps you on your toes. If you like slasher movies, check it out. Like I said, I usually don't like them, but I like this one, and I like Scream just as they're similar as they are different. Thanks for joining me, and if you haven't done so already, please subscribe to the show and hit that like button. Don't forget to ring the notification bell so you'll know when the next review is posted. And if you have a suggestion for a film to watch, leave it in the comments as I will add it to the list, as I want to know what you want to watch. And if you've seen the film, let us know that in the comments as well. And as always, take care of yourselves, be good to the ones you love, and I'll catch you later.